Hey there, folks. The Scottsdale Travel Chick's sidekick here to present our ultimate guide to Cancun, Mexico. In this video, we'll cover all the top things you'll want to see and do in and around Cancun, along with details on how to get around, where to stay, the best times to visit, dining and nightlife tips, and much, much more. With everything called out on maps, so you'll know exactly where things are at before you get there. Okay, let's go. First up, just a bit of background on Cancun to get you acclimated. Cancun is at the eastern tip of Mexico, sticking out into the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean. This area is called the Yucatan Peninsula, and Cancun is in the Mexican state of Quintana Roo. It's near the top of what they call the Riviera Maya, which is roughly 110 miles of beautiful coastline, which includes a number of other beautiful beach destinations, all with their unique style and benefits. But Cancun itself is often the very first visit people make to Mexico, and it's well known around the world. Funny then that our ultimate guide to Cancun here happens to be the very last of all of our ultimate guides along the Riviera Maya. So if you happen to be looking for other Mexico beach destinations, be sure to check out our other top-rated ultimate guides on the Riviera Maya's Tulum, Playa del Carmen, Cozumel, Isla Mujeres, and Isla Holbox. And beyond the Riviera Maya area, we also have ultimate guides for Puerto Vallarta, Los Cabos and Cabo San Lucas, and Mazatlan, Mexico. Why not check them all out? Fun fact about Cancun, it was the very first purpose-built vacation destination the Mexican government selected for development way back in 1970. And they selected Cancun based on what they refer to today as the Hotel Zone, a 13-mile-long string of pristine beaches shaped like the number 7, with the ocean on one side and the lagoon on the other. And note that the Hotel Zone is one of 2 areas referred to as Cancun. Most tourists, of course, stay here in the Hotel Zone, but directly next door is Cancun Town, a more local, flavorful area compared to the big resorts lining the Hotel Zone. And this guide will cover both, along with all the top attractions nearby that you can consider for various day trips. Finally, let's answer the question here, why stay in Cancun versus other options along the Riviera Maya or Mexico? Well, I'll sum it up. If you want to stay on the most beautiful beaches in all of Mexico, and you love all-inclusive resorts and getting great package deals, then Cancun is probably the place for you. How to get there and how to get around. Cancun International Airport is Mexico's second busiest airport and a short 6 miles or 10 kilometers from the south end of the Hotel Zone. Unfortunately, there are no cheap or easy ways to get from Cancun Airport to the Hotel Zone, believe it or not. Your best bet is to organize a transfer in advance of your visit. See our links below this video for a couple of recommendations, or ask your hotel to organize one for you. Fares should be around $35 to $45 for a private transfer. You will see cheaper transfer options as low as $10 to $15, but you'll need to stop at various drop-offs, and the van will often wait up to 1 hour to gather more passengers before it departs. Worst case, you can simply go to the outside taxi stand where you'll buy a ticket. But beware, you'll encounter many touts on your way out. But note, all the legitimate taxi services are outside the building at the taxi stand. What about Uber, you might ask? Well, you can use Uber everywhere in Cancun, and you can use it to return to the airport, but Due to the strong taxi union, they make it difficult, if not impossible, to use Uber to depart the airport. So unfortunately, you'll have to spend that $45 or so to leave the airport, but coming back, it'll be around $15 to $20 for an Uber. You may have heard of the ADO bus system in Mexico, and it's a great option. We take the bus everywhere we want to go along the Riviera Maya, except for Cancun, since the only stop for the ADO bus is downtown at the bus station, and you'll need to take a 15 to 25 minute taxi ride from there anyways. Once you're at your hotel, there are two options there as well. Along the hotel zone, you'll have the option of using the local bus. It's cheap at 12 pesos or less than $1. They don't take change. And it will take you anywhere along the hotel zone and all the way into Cancun town itself. The buses run every few minutes, 24 hours a day, and the bus stops are never more than 100 or 200 yards away from where you're at. And again, you're welcome to use Uber as well if you prefer to do that. Lastly, you don't really need to rent a car if you're basing yourself in the Cancun area, as there are plenty of tour companies offering dozens of excursions to nearby attractions. Again, check our links below the video for our top tour providers. And I'll mention, of course, all those top attractions later in the video. The best times to visit. Peak season in Cancun runs from December through April. Prices for both airfare and hotel increase dramatically during these times, while dropping in the summer and early autumn months. The climate in Cancun is tropical, with consistently hot and humid weather most of the year and very warm sea temperatures. Late June is especially hot, so if you want the best prices, come during this time or later in the summer into autumn when it's actually the hurricane season. But don't worry too much. Most of those days there are just afternoon showers. Where to stay. This ultimate guide focuses only on Cancun, so that's all I'll talk about here. And it's easy, as almost every tourist visiting Cancun will stay somewhere in the hotel zone. But remember, the hotel zone is more than 20 miles long, so I'll break it into three main areas for you. If you want to be in a more quiet area, then stay in the south part or the north end of the hotel zone. If you want to be near great shopping and things to do outside of your hotel, then stay in the central part around the La Isla Shopping Center. And if you want to party it up all night, then stay near the Nightlife zone at the curve in the hotel zone. Another key point to know about Cancun is that the vast majority of hotels here are all-inclusive options. In fact, it's quite hard to find an option that is not all-inclusive. However, if you don't like all-inclusives, then there are two great places we'd recommend. One is the beautiful and deluxe JW Marriott Resort, and the other is the trendy Canopy Hotel at La Isla. Check out our reviews on both of these properties if you want to learn more. The top things to see and do. Let's start with the obvious. Cancun is all about the beach, partying, all-inclusive resorts. So you'll likely spend most of your time doing those three things. But when you're ready to get out and see some sights, here are the top things to see and do in the Cancun area, as well as the top day trip options nearby. In the hotel zone, the best public beach is Playa Delfines or Dolphin Beach. It's near the bottom of the hotel zone and has bathrooms and free palapas on a first-come, first-served basis. So if you get tired of your specific beach, maybe check this one out. This is Dolphin Beach. They got an overlook, a lot of palapas, which are free. A lot of locals hanging out here in a beautiful beach. And bonus, the Cancun tourist sign is here. And of course, you've got to get that trendy Itza or TikTok shot here, right? Two other free public beaches more towards the center of the hotel zone are Playa Marlin and Playa San Miguelitos. Both of these have smaller beach areas, are less spread out, and have a more local vibe. And palapas. Okay, once you're out here, Playa Marlin, pretty nice. Again, a bit of locals, a bit of gringos. You got the beach patrol coming up here. All right, this is Playa Miguelito. Definitely a locals beach here. In between a bunch of hotels. This is a public beach. Anyone can come out here, but there's no facilities. Beyond the beaches, there are a few other things to do directly in the Cancun area. And a big one is shopping at the La Isla Shopping Center. La Isla is an expansive open-air mall, perhaps a half-mile long, that includes a Ferris wheel, an interactive aquarium with dolphin shows, a casino, theaters, a Ripley's Believe It or Not, and tons of high-end as well as mid-range stores. And pro tip, there are even some nice waterfront bar options on the back side facing the lagoon, which are great for sunset drinks and food. A more local attraction in the hotel zone is the Mayan Museum of Cancun. This place has seen its better days, but it does house some archaeological pieces with significant historical value related to the Mayan culture across Mexico. The cost is only 100 pesos, or about $5, and also includes the San Miguelito Mayan Ruins directly next door. If it's a rainy day or you've got some time, it's probably worth the stop. In the north-facing hotel zone area, there are a couple more beaches here called Playa Tortugas and Playa Caracol. These two beaches are where the ferries leave for Isla Mujeres, which I'll talk about a bit later. But anyway, these beaches are not as nice or beautiful as the ones facing east, but they do tend to be more calm with less waves, so these tend to be better for small children or for swimming. And bonus, on the very east side near the small lighthouse is also a decent area for snorkeling. In this same area is also the Cancun Scenic Tower. Take the 5-minute ride up the almost 300-foot tower for panoramic 360-degree views. Also running along this North Shore area is a popular biking and walking trail. It runs for almost 4 miles or 7 kilometers along Culcacan Boulevard all the way into Cancun town itself. Speaking of Cancun town, let's touch on a few things there worth checking out. Along the primary road of Avenida Tulum, you'll have the center of the town and Cancun's main municipal building. There are a couple of famous statues here, as well as a sculpture garden. On the other side of the road, 1 block over, is the social hub of downtown Cancun, Palapas Park. It's a plaza that blurs the lines between local and tourist hotspot. But don't bother visiting in the daytime. Instead, try to come around dusk, when people emerge for walking, multiple entertainment options, and popular street food vendors. And if you enjoy Mexican music and performers, aim for a Friday or Saturday evening when things really get busy after dusk. If you want to do some more authentic local shopping, then there are 2 mercados to choose from in the downtown Cancun area. One is Mercado 28. It's the largest market in Cancun with tons of souvenirs and local finds. There's also an outdoor square here with food vendors offering up local eats. And don't forget to bargain at the shops here. If you want the real deal, as in less touristy, authentic market, then check out Mercado 23. This Mercado is a little rougher around the edges for sure, but it's where the locals go and you'll find the best pricing here. Now, let's move on to the top tours and day trips to consider. But before I do, just a quick shout out here that if you're enjoying this video, please give us a thumbs up, maybe a comment too, or better yet, forward this to all of your friends. And please consider subscribing to our channel to receive more fun, informative travel videos just like this one. Nearest the hotel zone, there are two very popular day trip options. Various lagoon tours are a top choice, with lots of different yet similar options. For some, you drive a little speedboat around and do some snorkeling, while others offer up kayaking, canoeing, fishing, or nature viewing. The second top choice nearby are Isla Mujeres tours. Isla Mujeres is a small island about a 20-minute boat ride away. Again, there are lots of options to choose from, but most tours include a bit of snorkeling with an extended stop at Isla Mujeres North Beach. We really recommend an overnight stay here, but a day trip is a good start. If you want to know much more about everything Isla Mujeres has to offer, please check out our ultimate guide to Isla Mujeres. And pro tip here, during the months between May and September, you can also do whale shark tours here. Moving further away from Cancun, next up are a ton of cenotes, an underwater river, and two very popular natural water parks. First and foremost, the Riviera Maya is known for hundreds, if not thousands, of cenotes, which are basically underground sunken lagoons. Definitely explore a couple during your visit. Then, consider stepping things up a notch.
All right. Oh, jeez. Wow.
The most unique and adventuresome option is Rio Secreto, and is one of our top overall recommendations. There are different packages to choose from, but we recommend the one where you rappel down into a dry cave for a walking tour, then swim through various caverns of an underwater river system. It's a really cool experience and we highly recommend this place. Check out our separate video on Rio Secreto to learn more. Finally, there are two very large and very commercial water parks here called Xel-Há and Xcaret. They are kind of a mix between a wet and wild water park, a nature park, and a natural swimmable lagoon. I won't go into all the details of each here, but they are both very popular and certainly all-day adventures. We did Xel-Há years ago with our son, and it was a really great experience. Another top thing to do in the Riviera Maya area is visit a Mayan ruin site. Chichen Itza and Coba are the two big ones here, but there are others. Chichen Itza is the most famous, but it is a long day trip and there's no shade around the ruins. So we actually recommend Coba. It's less crowded and closer, meaning a shorter day trip, and they usually throw in a visit to a couple of cenotes along the way. Plus, Coba has a pyramid you could climb to the top. At least before COVID anyway. Finally, consider visiting and maybe staying at another beach town nearby Cancun, Playa del Carmen, Tulum, and Cozumel are the top 3 choices, each with a different, unique feel. And if you want to learn more about any of them, as I've mentioned, check out our ultimate guides for each. Finally, if you really want to stretch yourself and do something completely on your own, then head to the relatively small town of Porto Morales and explore the little, mostly authentic town a bit. Then head to the dock and book your own snorkel excursion with one of the local guides. This is the best place to explore the second largest barrier reef in the world, just offshore. Check out our video on how to do this DIY snorkel tour on your own for about half the price of booking a package tour. Plus, you'll have a much more fun experience in the process. Our last section here is just a bit on dining and nightlife in Cancun. Let's talk dining first. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, most people staying in Cancun end up staying in an all-inclusive resort. So, food is free and abundant. However, if you do want to get out and experience something a bit more local, here are a few suggestions. In the hotel zone, we have 3 ideas for you. The waterfront bars at the back of La Isla are not 100% local, but they are a pretty cool place to grab a beer or a bite to eat and watch the sunset. If you want to pick things up a notch and go somewhere more locally owned, our best recommendation of all is El Fish Fritanga. It's a twofer in that there's a really great little cheap taco shop out front directly on the main road. But its hidden gem is a waterfront restaurant down an alley and in the back. This is an awesome place to hang out, and the food is excellent, both up front and in the back. And the sunsets can't be beat. Finally, the most local place in the hotel zone is probably Kilometer 19. Yes, that's its name, and it consists of just a few outdoor tables and a view of the lagoon, but surprisingly good food. If you end up going downtown and doing some exploring there, you'll have a number of local shops between the municipal building and Palapas Square. They are all quite local and worth your time, but our top pick downtown is actually just behind the municipal building, and it's called El Socio Naes Taqueria. It has a great vibe with excellent tacos. And now, finally, what you've all been waiting for, Cancun's famous nightlife. Most all the action centers around Kilometer 95 on Culcacan Avenue. That's just before the bend in the road, and this area has some of the largest clubs and top DJs in all of Mexico. Walk around and explore everything, but among the many choices here are Coco Bongo. Considered perhaps the top nightlife choice in Cancun, Coco Bongo isn't a traditional nightclub, but more of a mix of Cirque du Soleil, conga lines, live bands, and an anything-goes dance floor. Mandalay and La Vaquita are another 2 choices for loud, crazy clubs nearby. Also here is Senor Frogs, a restaurant by day and a club by night. As I mentioned, beyond these options, there are probably 30, 40, or 50 more other choices within walking distance of this main road. So just get out and explore. There's more than enough to spend an entire week here trying different places each night. Well, there you have it, folks, our ultimate visitor guide to Cancun, Mexico. We hope you enjoyed. Did we miss any of your favorites? Or do you have a secret tip you'd like to share with others? Please let us know in the comments section below, and please consider subscribing to our channel for more fun and informative travel videos just like this one.